All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Raring to go.
Today, we're tackling a story that's practically begging for a deep dive. The disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa.
A true enigma.
It's got everything. Powerful unions, organized crime, a disappearance that still has people guessing.
Yeah, it's a case where the line between fact and fiction gets incredibly blurry.
No kidding. So before we get into the day, Hoffa vanished. Who was this guy? He wasn't just another union boss, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Jimmy Hoffa was a titan. Head of the Teamsters Union at a time when they were a force to be reckoned with. We're talking 1960s, and the Teamsters, well, they were the backbone of America's transportation. Truck drivers, warehouse workers, you name it, they kept the country moving. And Hoffa, he was their leader.
So we're talking serious influence here.
Oh, immense. And he knew how to use it. But here's where it gets interesting. This wasn't just about collective bargaining, you know. One Hoffa biographer, source name, portrays him as someone who used his influence almost like a weapon, silencing anyone who dared to criticize him, cutting deals that benefited him and his allies, and there were even allegations, right, of him using union funds for personal gain. He walked a very precarious tightrope between being a champion for the working class and someone who was deeply entangled with some very dangerous people.
Yeah, those ties to organized crime were no secret.
Not in the slightest. It was practically an open secret, which makes his vanishing act all the more fascinating. Some theories suggest he was aiming to claw his way back into the Teamsters' top spot after he got out of prison, which might have ruffled some feathers with the folks who had stepped in to fill the power vacuum.
Risky move in that world.
You bet. And then there's the theory that he just knew too much. Information is power, and Hoffa, with his rumored mob connections, well, he was sitting on a gold mine. Some folks believe he became a liability, someone who knew a little too much about the inner workings of an organization that thrives on secrecy.
Which brings us to July 30th, 1975. The day Hoffa disappears from a restaurant parking lot. In broad daylight, no less. Was this a power play gone wrong, or something even more sinister?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? One that's haunted investigators for decades. Imagine this, the Micah's Red Fox restaurant, Bloomfield Township, Michigan. Hoffa, a man who enjoyed being seen, vanishes into thin air. He was supposedly meeting with Tony Provenzano and Anthony Giacalone, both with alleged ties to the Mafia.
What was their alibi?
They flat out denied ever meeting with him that day. But let's be real. In that line of work, sometimes denials speak volumes. What I find really intriguing is what we've gleaned from those recently declassified FBI files. There's a memo from Year that suggests Provenzano saw Hoffa as a threat, someone who might blow the lid off his operations. Adds a whole new layer to this story, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. So, with all these rumors and theories and dead ends, what's the prevailing thought on what happened to Hoffa?
Well, the Mafia hit theory is still the most popular explanation. A lot of folks believe Hoffa crossed the wrong people and paid the ultimate price. Now, there's no shortage of theories about the who and the how, but the why often circles back to good old-fashioned power struggles within organized crime.
And yet, with all the searches, all the leads, even some supposed confessions over the years, Hoffa's body has never been found.
And that right there is the detail that keeps this mystery alive. It's like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces missing. We've all heard the stories, right? Buried under Giants Stadium, dissolved in acid, hidden away on some farm in Michigan. Every location, every tip, it's all led to dead ends.
It's almost as if the earth just swallowed him whole. And now, after all these years, he's become a cultural icon. Movies, books, documentaries, everyone's got a theory on Jimmy Hoffa.
There's something about an unsolved mystery, especially one involving a figure as captivating as Hoffa, that just captures the imagination. It's the intrigue, the speculation, the what-ifs. It's all so captivating.
You got that right. It's a story about power, betrayal, ambition. So after diving into this with us today, what do you think went down that summer day in 1975?
Oh, if only I had a crystal ball. But that's the beauty of the Jimmy Hoffa case, isn't it? The mystery endures.
It certainly does. All right, listeners, now it's your turn. Which theory do you find most compelling? Let us know. For now, the mystery of Jimmy Hoffa remains just that, a mystery.